Hello everybody and welcome back. This is episode number 13 of the Vanarama YouTube's Football Manager 2018 experiment series with Celtic and Rangers in the English League. Starting from the Vanarama, Celtic have hit the heights of the Premier League first. As you can see there they are in amongst the 20 team elite of English football. Rangers on the other hand, well, first of all we're going to have a look at the early business Celtic have done. And then we'll come to Rangers. So here we go, Celtic. So they've already brought in 3 players, which is good to see. They've sold one, allowed one to go on a free and one to go out on loan. So Takuma Asano is a striker. Highly rated looking striker, Japanese from Watford. Martin Montoya they picked up on a free worth 15.5 million at 32 years of age. That's a bit of a signing, that is. And Christian Bielik is a good centre-back. So they're filling their ranks with Premier League quality already, which is really good to see. So I really think they could hold their own in this division now. Let's have a little look at Rangers. So Rangers, here they are, Sky Bet League One. Obviously with Celtic, they narrowly avoided the relegation back into the Championship because it was looking like there's a possibility that Rangers could go up into the Championship from this league and Celtic could come down and they could be reunited in the Championship, but none of that happened. Rangers stuck in League One for another season. So far they brought in a guy called Tyreek Backinson from Ebbsfleet. They've sold Jacob Murphy and allowed Steve Rennie to move on. Steve Rennie couldn't have been great if he's going back to Scotland, of course. Jacob Murphy on to Leeds, so they're up on their money at the moment. You'd like to think they got a bit of money behind them at the moment as well. As Tyreek Backinson, is he going to be a big player in this division? My theory on getting up quickly in these divisions is the support and the reputation are going to allow you to bring in the quality of players that allow you to win each division each season. I think with the big players that you start with, you could sell them on for masses of money and allow the interest to build that money up. So you've got a massive kitty to attack the Premier League with. I don't think Rangers are quite done it as well as they could have. But like I say, they're stuck in League One. They're going to make more signings than this. I think this will be the season they'll jump back into the Championship. And hopefully they'll springboard themselves into the Premier League. That will remain to be seen though. So, without further ado, I think it's about time we take ourselves to the end of the transfer window, see how both teams start and see what kind of business they end up doing. I'll see you guys then. Okay then, so we're on the 2nd of September and Celtic have started really well. They played 2-1-2 and well, they're still rich as well, so they've still got a lot of money behind them. So I'm getting the impression they may have sold some on and brought some in. So yeah, well, no, they haven't sold an awful lot. They've sold £6.25 million worth of players. So not an awful lot. They've let a few players go out on loan. So here we go, that's fair enough. So Johnny Evans, that's a strange one. He's 35 years of age as well, and they've paid only 1.7 million for him. If he does a job for them for the season, then happy days. But Alvaro, they've picked up from Everton. Sadio Mane, 31 years of age, worth 25 million. They got him on a free. Hey, the bloody hell they've been allowed to do that. Andy McLean, a defender centre, 21-year-old, maybe a future player. Andre Egan, 21 years old, striker, I don't know, maybe a backup. Adamola Lookman, they picked him up from Bristol City. So they've picked up some players. They look as though they've improved upon their finish from last year where they nearly went down. They only spent 29.5 million. They're going to need to be spending a lot more than that in the Premier League to get up there. But what do I know? Currently sitting in 3rd place, but they've only played 2 games. So Mane's near enough top in the charts already for the assists. So that could be a very shrewd signing. Only 31 years of age. How he's been able to pick him up on a free is beyond me. But what about their arch enemies then? Let's go and have a look how Rangers have started and what business they've done. So there we go, Rangers, they've hit the ground running. They're top of the league, they've won 3 out of 3, but so have 2 other teams. So it's not going to be an easy one, but I'd imagine by the time we get to the 30th of November, they'll pull away quite nicely. So this finances are nicely secure at the moment. So if they've spent only 1.3 million though. That's strange. They've made 4.8, so maybe they're trying to build their money up. And they picked up a couple of freebies. Joe Allen's one of them. 33 years of age, valued at 2.2 million still. He could do a job for them for the season, possibly two. They brought in a couple of players on loan. Yaboa Hamangwa. You're so careful when you say these names. Well, he's a centre back, maybe a bit part player, fill the squad maybe. But here's where they spent the money. They've brought Trey Cole from Arsenal, attacking midfield centre, valued at 1.7 million. So it could be a bit of a shrewd signing, one for the future. Stephen Humphreys from Fulham. Scored only 3 goals for Fulham last year, but maybe dropping down a division, he may find his level. Tom Field from Swindon. Defender left. Oh, I don't know. Don't know what to make. He looks, on his attributes, he looks like he's a decent player. Done all right for Swindon. So there we go. And some players on loan from Southampton, Fulham and West Brom. But like I say, they're top of the table at the moment. And looking good. So, let's move this on. I mean, look at last season, they had a lot of good teams in there. Look at it this season, a lot of them teams went up. So I feel as though this could be Rangers' year to get themselves back into the Championship. But we'll have a look at how they progress through the season now when we take it to the 30th of November. So I'll see you guys there. Okay then, 30th of November, and there we go. Celtic have slipped down into 10th place. They've only won another 3 games since winning their opening 2, and they've lost 7, drawn none. So look at the 7 losses. Man United, Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City and Crystal Palace. You can kind of understand why they're losing to teams like that. Because Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. Then I think the pleasing thing is only 2 of them losses have been at home, but one of them was against Crystal Palace. That's a bit of a disappointing one, that one is. But you look like Stoke, Wolves, West Brom, Newcastle, Bournemouth, so the lower teams they're beating. So yeah, I think they're going to be happy with it. The only thing is though, they've been losing like 4-1, 3-0, and that when they have been playing against some of these teams. So their goal difference is -7. So in and around them, they got like people on +1 on a neutral goal difference, but then come to them straight in the middle, bang, -7. So I think they've got to start banging in some more goals. I think when we revisit this now after this episode, it's going to be after the January transfer window, and if they have got money to spend, I believe they should have, rich, so they should have money to spend. They should be allowed to have money to spend. John Kennedy is still the manager. He should be given the money. I think the striker is going to be the key area. Let's have a quick look at the players that they have got. So selection info, position. So looking at it down here, they don't really have an awful lot of options for an actual proper striker. I mean, Sam Gallagher, obviously they had to replace Tammy Abraham. Yeah, it was Tammy Abraham they had, wasn't it? I believe it was, unless my memory is failing me. I believe Tammy Abraham they sold to Liverpool, yeah. So Celtic, on the slope, but of the losses that they've had, the majority of them have been against, sort of top 7 opposition. Only 1 out of the top 7 have beaten them, and that is Crystal Palace. That'll be a disappointing one because they lost that one at home as well. But they're 6 points clear of relegation, so at the moment not in a relegation fight. But like I say, a couple more losses and a couple of wins from down there may end up sparking a bit of a relegation scrap. I think they'll be alright though. Let's go check out Rangers. So Rangers are still top of the tree. They've gone on and won 13 out of 18, which is great. The only thing is though, is Swindon are right on their tails, who've won. They've basically done exactly the same thing as just Rangers. Have got a far superior goal difference. So where Rangers have been winning, they've been winning like 3-0, 2-0. And then when they've lost 3-1 at home to Millwall, they'll be disappointed with that one. Yeah, so they're still having a good season though. Portsmouth only 3 points behind in third, so automatic promotion is still in the balance on this one. But I do believe Rangers are going to go on and win this division. playoffs, at least they're 12 points clear of falling out of the playoff places. So yeah, I'd say Rangers have got it made for them this season. Player stats, is it worth looking at? Yeah, I tell you what, we'll look at the player stats on this. We'll have a look, we'll have a butcher's, just an overview. Adam Granger is the top scorer, but Lucas Hinterseer is only a goal behind for Rangers, and they've also got Zeno Gano, who's got 8 goals. So they've got 2 players in the top of the goal scoring charts. They've got 2 players, as you can see, in the top of the assists chart. Average rating. Where is average rating? There it is. So they got 2 players in the top 3 of the average rating. So they got the individuals. They're doing well as a team. Yeah, they're going to be happy at the moment. Let's have a quick look at the Premier League players charts to see if Celtic have got anything really to brag about. So here we go. Most assists were still on. So top scorer Andrea Bellotti of Chelsea. So Celtic don't have anybody in the sort of top 10 there. Most assists, they don't have anybody either. But Sheffield Wednesday, even though they're in the bottom 3, have got one in 5th, well, joint 2nd place. That's mad. Average rating. So Celtic have got no one in the top 20 on average rating, so they don't have any individuals. So actually, they got the money to spend. They got to bring in a couple of individual players that are going to change games for them. And I think maybe they could be looking at European places at some point in the near future if they can do it that way. Anyway, that's the end of this episode, guys. In the next episode, we will look at Gateshead and Barrow in the Scottish League and see how the Scottish League is getting on, at the end of the season. But halfway through, I'd say looking good for both. Celtic were improving on last season. Rangers are top of the league in League One. So if I'm going to hazard a guess, Celtic will be finish mid-table at the end of the season. Rangers will win League One and end up in the Championship for next season. But it all remains to be seen. But until then, though, guys, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching again. Thanks to all of you keeping up with the series. I know we're getting more and more views for this one now. We're getting a few Celtic and Rangers fans actually having a look, which is great. Keep them coming. Keep sharing it. Get more people involved in this. This is coming back with some pretty great results. So, yeah, say thanks again for keeping up with it. And until the next time, cheerio.